Brian's got a black screen.
It's coming. It's coming. Go.
Begins in 3. Hold on. There we go. In 3, 2, 1. Whoop. That's not the right soundboard. Hold on. Gosh dang it. Final score. There it is. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
This is the final score, episode 167 for Wednesday, August 5th, 6th, 2014. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the final score, the video game podcast for the rest of us, where we discuss our video game experiences for the week, and you have to just sit there grooving on it. My name is Scott Johnson, and that's Nicole. Hi, Nicole.
Hi.
How are you?
I dropped my minion.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, you
He's
brought
okay.
or dropped?
I dropped him.
Oh, all right. Like the mic.
Yeah, I picked him
She's
up.
like a rapper. Dropped her minion. And also Brian Dunaway. Hi, Brian.
That's what you get for making fun of me.
Well, you know, this week people think you and I are mad at each other for some unknown reason.
Shut up, Scott Johnson.
See, let's continue.
I'm so sick of your BS.
We should
It's a
continue
brotherly
it.
love.
Yes, it's a brotherly hate, love, something. It's funny because, well, I won't say anything. Never mind. It's not Brian himself that I was even irritated about on the show.
It's his opinion.
It was it was his strange opinion, and he doesn't like mine. And you know what? We're like brothers. It doesn't matter. Everyone loves everybody.
We've had this disagreement about Minority Report since what, 2006 or 7?
The dawn of our relationship. Really,
it's been going on for a long time. I mean, if we're not able to get past it, I mean, it would have happened a long time ago.
Yeah. Look, and who lets a single movie be the craw,
Right.
the thing to stick in one's craw? That's ridiculous. That's no fun.
A craw?
But it was
What's a craw?
it was sure fun to talk about, though. All right, hey, welcome back, everybody. It's good to be back. We got stuff to talk about. Let's just launch into what we've been playing this week. Hey, what are you playing? Okay, man, where do I start? I actually was able to squeeze in a bunch of stuff, and I'll start with the weirdest one, and also maybe the biggest surprise in the affirmative, and that is Crypt of the Necromancer. Sorry, Crypt of the Necrodancer. That's not a typo. It is literally Necrodancer. How do I explain this game? It's kind of hard. Okay, here's the deal. It's tell me if this sounds like it might appeal to me.
Does it have Tina Turner's legs in it?
No.
Is it a roguelike?
Who runs Bartertown? It's a roguelike. You're correct. Number one, it is a roguelike in the core kind of, game type that roguelikes are. Go till you die and carry over money and things, but pretty much, lose everything and randomized dungeons and all that. That's very much that. RPG, which is often tied to roguelikes, so that's in there.
Right.
What else? 8-bit graphic treatment, like looking retro. Okay, I like that.
Looks like there's a good soundtrack.
Yeah, great soundtrack. I like me some heavy dance music. I'm a fan of the electronic music, right? So that's in there. Turns out the one thing I usually don't like, I'm not really that into, is rhythm games. They're okay, but I'm not all that into rhythm games. It's not that big of a deal to me, not a big draw. But all of those things you just said and that rhythm game thing at the end, that is what this game is. It is a combination of all those things. I also like indie games, and I like small teams, and I like when they make crazy cool stuff. So it's kind of the perfect storm. And the game is surrounds, at least at first, you can unlock a bunch of other characters, but at first you have this female protagonist. I forgot her name, but she reminds me of Nicole. She's blonde, kind of what's the word? Not punchy, not punky. What am I trying to say? She's...
Feisty.
I'm down
Feisty.
I'm down with punchy.
Feisty's
I'm down
pretty
with
good.
that.
She's only punchy when you're next to her. But she reminds me of you a lot for some reason. She gets thrown into this dungeon where this ancient crypt keeper lives, and he's a dance dude, or as some would call him, a necrodancer.
Right, it's a play on words from necromancer, which is
like undead and skeletons and all that. But the game requires you via controller or keyboard, and they're both basically the same because the movements are super simple. is a match the beat game. And actually, the game has about a minute long trainer at the top of the game that just gets used to your latency on whatever device you're using. So it makes you, for about a minute, follow the beat on screen and tap, you know, the different buttons to make sure that you're in time with this thing. So it's dun, 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 dun. And when you're done, it'll tell you what your, like, nanoseconds, you know, what your potential lag is, or if any at all. And I was 0 on the keyboard and a little bit on the controller, but not enough to make any big difference. So they do that to kind of calibrate and make sure whatever device you're using is good. And I'm guessing they'll struggle a bit on consoles because those notoriously, especially with certain LED screens, have lag. Or more than, say, a PC even with a dongle would have. So I don't know how they're going to handle that. If they even plan to come to those platforms, I'll tell you where I really want this is on a Vita or an iPad or something.
I want it on a Wii where I can use my Dance Dance Revolution.
Your pad?
Foot pad. My foot pad, yes.
You know, you could do it, I think, because it's up, down, left, and right. And the way the game works is you walk into a dungeon, okay? It's all randomly generated every time you get in. And the music's going, you know, it's like great music. And you're supposed to, each step you take needs to be with the beat. If you try not to do that, it'll go, and it'll tell you that you're doing it wrong. And it won't kill you unless you're fighting stuff. But it will tell you you're doing it wrong, and then your coin multiplier or some of your bonus stuff will stop because you're off beat again. So you always want to be on beat. So every step is boom, 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 boom to the music. Some little pads you step on or certain items in the game will speed up time. So you got to keep up with like the sped up thing for a second or however long it lasts, like 10 seconds or something. And then sometimes it slows it way down. So you got to get, okay, I got the beat is now boom, boom, boom. And if you want to keep your multipliers, you got to try to keep matching it. Now, that doesn't happen very often, and you tend to trigger those. So you have control over how often you want to do that. It's not like a thing it surprises you with.
What can I play this on?
Steam right now is where you get it.
That's it?
Early access.
Early access. It's like, I don't know, $10 or something. The early access doesn't feel buggy. It just feels like early access should be, that they've got a bunch of stuff they haven't put in yet, but they're telling you about it. So you're in there and you're like, oh, this is where I would get all the other characters. And it says, this is all for just placeholder for now. We will have new characters for each one of these slots. You can unlock all these new dudes. Come back and check, you know, with new updates. I much prefer this kind of early access to it's broken, help us fix it early access.
Yeah.
So
your money.
Big points for that. I think that's awesome that they're doing that. Go into a room. Okay, now we'll talk about fighting. You go into a room, and let's say there's some green blobs in there you need to kill. They have patterns to them. You have to learn them, and you'll learn them pretty quickly because they're real simple. But it might be every 2 beats they move up a square, and every 2 beats they move down a square. And everything's in a grid, and it becomes even more of a grid, a movement grid, if you will, like a chessboard. It becomes even more of that if you're killing and hitting the beats right, because then it starts to flash on and off, alternating like colors in the squares like a disco or something.
I'm going to say like some kind of disco party tech?
Yeah. Oh. Just like that, dude. You're not. So you're getting the vibe here. You're getting right where I'm coming from.
So does at any point in time like a disco ball come down like made out of a dragon or something? It's like.
It's a good question. I don't know that I've hit anything like that yet.
That would be cool.
And you know, if I'm honest, I'm not that deep into the game yet. But so, you know, I'll give you some. Give you some of the idea of what this sounds like. Here's just a taste of it. Here we go. This is the music.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very, you know, high-powered, whatever. And you got to keep moving like boom, 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 boom. And you never want to slow down.
Everything sounds like Sisters of Mercy to me lately.
A little bit, right? I kind of got that too. So when you kill a thing, you need to pay attention to their movements, because if you are attacking from the side, you'll kill them and not be hit back because you're getting them from a good angle. But some of these things rotate. So you want to make sure you're keeping the beat, but also hitting them when their back is turned or coming from an angle where they're not going to be, so they don't fight you. And anyway, that's how you kill enemies. And there's lots of different kind of enemy types. The one that I can't deal with right now is this one that looks like a big moose or something. It's got like horns and antlers on it. And that thing just chases me down and kills me. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or whatever. But what?
Is he offended by your dance moves, possibly? Could it be something that...
It probably is. That's the funny thing is all the storyline is about you being, you know, it's like step it up or whatever for a video game. But you're in this fantasy thing. Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
All that stuff. So I'm trying to see if they have the singing dude in this. Hold on. Because Nicole would love this. I gotta find him. Oh, I want the soundtrack,
I'm
dude.
gonna dance, dance, dance.
Let's see. I don't hear him.
Terrible.
I don't hear him. All right, well, what happens? I think it depends on what zone you're in, because there'll be random rooms where you can buy stuff for that level, and you have gold, so you can buy like a whip or a torch or stuff that helps you advance, a ring, whatever, armor and stuff like that.
Did you say whip or torture?
Torch?
Yes, that's right.
Or torch?
Torch. No
Whip or
torture.
torture.
You want whip or torture?
What are you playing,
What's
Scott?
the difference? It's the 50 Shades of Grey indie title. So you go in there, and here's the best part: that music's going, and you walk in, and there's like this big fat kind of he's like how do I compare him? The hedonism bot on Futurama that's always going, oh, rub your fingers. That guy.
Yeah, eating the grapes.
Yeah, that guy's great. He's like that. So he's like a big, made out of gold looking dude who's selling all the goods, right? And you walk in, and he doesn't just sit there and sell you the stuff. He's bopping up and down to the music, and he sings when you walk in the room and starts doing like opera over the top of this techno. But it's right to the music. So he's going, here, it's awesome.
No,
Just for no reason, dude. That was me. For no freaking reason, he starts singing. And then when
like
you
a rock
leave, he
opera.
stops. Yeah, it's exactly what it's like. And it is the most smile-inducing game I've played perhaps all year, in terms of just this, and Broforce really are just tickling every little fancy bone I have. I don't know what any of that meant. But you should play it. It's cheap and it's fun, and you can tell they're going to throw a bunch of support behind it and keep going. And I want to support teams like this because it's innovative, it's funny, it's almost like somebody one night was sitting around drunk and went, Necrodancer, more like dancer, and someone said, dude, we should make a video game around that name. And then they came up with the perfect combination of game elements to make a game around it. It is really that much fun. Total throwaway time. I mean, it gets deep and there's a lot of stuff to unlock, and it's like Rogue Legacy or anything else in that way. But it's it's definitely surface level entertainment. It's not like you're going to get some deep story or a bunch of meaning. But sometimes I want that, I want this kind of experience. So anyway, play it. If it comes on mobile, I'll buy it again because it's perfect for that. Oh my gosh, it'd be the perfect Vita game.
Right, and you have I was thinking like an iPad or something. You can have your little fingers on there.
Even an iPad would be fine. What they'd have to do with the iPad would be just be smart about directional stuff. Right. Because it is very tactile with the beat. You want to be able to just hit the right beat, and that means direction when you want it. And keyboards and controllers give you that, and certainly the Vita would give you that. The iPad, you could, if they just need to be smart about the interface changes there. And I don't know what their plans are. I mean, I think they're a real small team. They were real nice on Twitter. I had a little back and forth with them and talking about how rad it was that we live in a time where a game like this can even be thought of, let alone be made. Right, and that's kind of, I want to just wind this into that point, or to make that point. We live in like this amazing period in video games where weird ideas can get made into big ideas.
Especially in the last year. It just seems like it's
even more than that. Super Meat Boy.
Sure. In fact, I'd say Super Meat Boy almost heralded this period, a little bit.
Right.
What was the one where it was just a weird story of the little kid?
Fez?
No, not Fez. Well, that one too.
The one in Brazil, Papa Yo or whatever.
Binding of Isaac?
Yes, Binding of Isaac.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's crazy good. That game pisses me off, though. They never put dual stick controls in it, and it always made me mad.
That's okay. You had some dual stick fun this week, didn't you?
Their Vita's coming out. Vita version of that. I'll get that again, because then finally there are two sticks, and that makes sense. And there was some hacked controller driver thing you could do with that, but that just bugged me. It's like, just put some support in there, guys. You had it for Super Meat Boy. You're the same company. Just patch it in. See that singer guy right there in your video, Brian? That dude, you can't really tell, but see his mouth's open? That's because he's going, he's just freaking amazing. Anyway, I highly recommend it.
I see him.
Crypt of the Necrodancer. And you would be wise to spend some time with it. It's a lot of fun. Also,
add it to my wish list.
Let's talk about Secret Poncho. Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Secret Ponchos. I kept Scotty D sent me this as well as you, I believe.
I think he bought a 4-pack or something.
Right.
And we got it. Yeah, I got it as well. It's another early access game, a multiplayer focused, although there's some single player campaign stuff coming, but multiplayer focused kind of arena shooter.
Right, right.
But it's isometric, top-down kind of Diablo kind of view on everything.
Right, and it is really early access because some of the stuff that looks like it's coming isn't quite there yet. All you can really play is 2 versus 2 in a multiplayer model right now.
And it bugs out a lot, and there's some problems. So this is one of those examples where early access may mean some issues. Every team's different, I guess, but what I did get to play a little bit of anyway, a little bit online with some random people, was pretty fun. I can see why this would be good, and I love the whole spaghetti western motif, and that's kind of up my alley anyway. So I think with some polish and some bug fixes and stuff, that game has some real potential. But I don't know what to compare it to. It's like oh geez, it's like Diablo multiplayer, really.
Right. It's like if they took Red Dead Redemption and took away all the storyline and threw it into like a Diablo engine.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of like an arcade Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, and, I would agree with that. By the way, controller or keyboard controls way better for me than the controller ones. They were okay, really? But I found the keyboard much easier to do.
There's the problem I have with this game right now is there's no real introduction to the gameplay. You just get in, dude. Yeah, you just get right in. The only problem with that is it's like, do I have the ability to what are my powers? Basically, you've got basically 2 different things you can do. You can either, well, all the players I play anyway, it's either like a shooting mechanism or some type of melee attack. And the one I played was, I think he's not the killer. Which one was the guy with the skull?
That's oh crap, I forgot the name, but he looks like a. Oh, he looks
he's the Phantom. He's the Fandango. He's the Phantom Poncho.
Yeah, he looked a bit like a. I don't know even what to compare. It's like Fandango mixed with like a Mexican wrestler, kind of almost. And
exactly, that's a perfect description.
Really cool. Yeah.
And he's got a shotgun and a bullwhip, and I jumped in, and of course they had this bounty on your head kind of game mechanic. So the whole point is to increase the bounty on your head every time you go through a round.
The more you're winning, for example, the more bounty is on you. So eventually, if you and I are matched up, I kill you, I get all your money.
Exactly, which is what you want to do. Yeah. And immediately, like I said, you was thrown in immediately. The one thing that's going to probably kill this game is the fact that it's only multiplayer. And a couple of times when I was doing the quick matches,
so far it's only there's supposedly a bunch of plans for single player, but right now it is.
I would have focused on the single player thing if I'd have been there, but I guess that's not whatever.
Clearly, their focus is multiplayer in this case, but you're
absolutely
you're right, because they throw you in naked. Like, what do I do? I have no idea what to do. And if somebody else has got a few matches on you, they're going to dominate.
Right. And it's going to be I used a controller, so it's very much like a dual stick shooter type setup where you navigate with one stick and you point with the other, and then if you want to shoot, you have to hit the trigger.
This is all true.
Trigger the bumper. So I immediately found that I was getting my ass handed to me, but it didn't take me long, and then I figured out I was playing actually better than other people, and I think they were playing on the keyboard.
Oh, you think you were beating them because they were on keyboards?
I think I was beating them because it was on the keyboard.
Maybe I just didn't get used to it. I was just having a hard time with the controller. I don't know why.
I don't know, but it's a good little early access game. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really pretty. Yeah,
but I don't think it's anywhere. I wouldn't even call it early access. I would say it's early access.
They call this alpha level stuff. Yeah, more proof of concept, and they got work to do. No question.
Right. I'm almost hate that they showed it to me at this point, because by the time it is completed, I'm afraid I'm going to have absolutely zero interest in it.
You'll probably forget about it.
I'll probably
will.
Forget
I'm going to hang around and see what I can do. Ooh, do you guys do that on my Steam? What's it called, Brian? My SteamGauge.com. Y'all should do this. You go to mysteamgauge.com, and it's like /played in WoW, but for Steam games. It's frightening. It's a terrifying experience. It tells you how many games you have, how much they're worth. So like how many in thousands of dollars you've spent, or presumably spent. Some of the stuff was free or cheap, but
I think I've seen something similar to this. I don't know if I want to do this or not.
It's scary. It's scary as hell.
I'm doing it right now.
It's like 6,000 hours or something for me. It was some ridiculous amount of time and money, and 480 games. And
I already have enough trouble people commenting and going, Oh, Brian's only got like a 15% completion rate on his games. That's because
demos.
it's always a demo's worth.
Demos, yeah. You know the jokes are before they even happen.
Right.
It's almost like the Necrodancer is laughing at you. So you should look that up. Nicole, I'm curious about yours.
Your account has to be public.
Yeah, see, Nicole's always doing that. I'll beg Nicole. I'm like, please make yours public. And you're like, no, screw you. I'm like, please.
No, I thought I had it. I thought I said it.
Yeah, mine must be because it worked. I had to do the number, not my name, though, which is weird. But it ended up being a lot more than I thought. It also, the money spent, although it doesn't really account for free stuff and gifts and things, but if you had spent retail value on everything on that list, it was like $5-6 grand or something. I mean, basically what it showed me with 480 games and all this time played, and the number one game was Skyrim. Second place was like, I forget. Crap. I forgot my top five.
Do you allow your kids to play on your?
No, they have their own accounts. So they are using friends, or they're using the family sharing beta thing that they have right now, which means they can play a lot of my games, but that doesn't count toward my time. That counts toward their time.
It's our time. Our
time, yeah. It's our time, Daddy.
Time, Father.
It's cool. It's a weird way to look at metadata and kind of see where you're at. But it basically reminded me that if I have been invested in an ecosystem more with video games in my life, it's definitely Steam. Like you don't think of it that way, but because we've all loved our consoles and our portables or our whatevers. But at the end of the day, I feel like Steam just is my jam. Well, it is for me.
It is me too.
Oh wow! So over the last 5 years, I've spent 919.7 hours playing.
Valve should run.
What's your number one? What's your number one on there?
Borderlands 2.
Borderlands 2. I wondered.
Borderlands 2, then Fallout New Vegas.
Borderlands 2 is third for me, so I was right up there.
Yeah. 217 hours on Borderlands 2.
Good Lord, Nicole.
Good Lord, woman.
That's a lot. You win. You win. I mean, my most time on Skyrim was under 200. It was like 180 or something.
Wow, even still, 180 hours on Skyrim.
151 on Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
Only 62 on BioShock Infinite.
Yeah, well, because that game. Well, you played a lot more than we did.
Like a full-time job. That's more than a full-time job.
I think I'm probably 20 on that game is all.
Right.
Because I beat it and then I was done and I never played DLC.
If I had World of Warcraft on here, it would be up there.
No, it'd be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go do that. Go do that for fun. I did that with all my characters. There's a mod you can use to add it all up, and it was up in the, well, it wasn't near some people, but it was like 300 and something days.
Right.
Of human time spent in that damn game. Ugh. Terpsters was like 360 or something. And then we have some people out there writing us in going, dude, I have like tons of alts and my main character is 380 by himself. And that's just since Wrath. I'm like, you need to go out more. You got to do more things. You can't just play WoW your whole life.
They got to keep that kind of statistics away from gamers because
no, I think they should be like, when you log in, that's what you see.
Yeah.
That should be the first thing you see.
Well, at the rate I'm going with Marvel Heroes, I'm about to push that up into the top 3, I'm sure. And I may never look at this again, but it is interesting just to see how much devotion we have to this world.
I'm still trying to look mine up, but I'm having trouble because.
Well, while you're looking that up, let me tell you about Road Not Taken, which came out for PlayStation 4 and PC. And maybe Xbox One. Crap, I'm not sure about that. That may not.
I haven't. No, I'm pretty sure it hasn't come out for Xbox. I think it's only on the PlayStation and the PC. This is one of my games that is kind of on my radar. And do
you like puzzle games?
I like puzzle games, and I've really been into the indie games lately, and this is right up my alley. And I took a look at the artwork, and I tracked down the artist behind this game, and. She's fantastic. Yeah.
By the way, it is on 360.
It is on 360. Interesting. But not the Xbox One?
No, Xbox One as well. Looks like it's on both. It's just free on PlayStation Plus this week. That's the big difference.
Right.
So I was going to get it on PC because it looked interesting. I love the art style. I'm pretty sure these guys made that iOS puzzler game with the little bears where you combine trees and they become bigger trees and then they become villages. Not threes.
Not threes.
Village,
not that game.
Village. Shite. Whatever.
Village Idiot.
Village Idiot. No, that's not it either.
That's not it?
Anyway. It's I think it's those guys because those bears show up all the time. It's got to be them.
Right. It is. They've had a popular game out not that long ago, and I'm trying to remember what it was called.
I can't remember the name. It was a huge deal. Eileen Rivera was really into it. I remember that on App Slappy. She couldn't play enough of that, and I can't remember the name. Anyway, doesn't matter.
I'm gonna find out.
You find that game. You go ahead.
Description of Road Not
It's
Taken.
pretty good. Here's the deal: if you have PlayStation Plus, it's completely and utterly free. So pay nothing for that.
Well, it's free as long as you don't mind paying for PlayStation Plus.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. It's a PlayStation Plus free game.
If you're doing it anyway.
Yeah, if you're doing that anyway, this is this month's. There's 2 this month, or 3, whatever it is. There's Fez, this, and something else.
Fez, Triple Town was the name of the game.
Triple Town, that's it. That's got to be the same people. I'll eat my shorts if it's not that.
It is Spry Fox.
Okay.
Who does?
That's got to be them.
Triple Town is the other game you're thinking.
This is more story. This is more story based. There are quests. It's kind of like a puzzle game meets a roguelike meets a character progression game.
Wait, a roguelike?
Kind of. Yeah.
Right.
In some ways, it is. If you like puzzles and matching stuff to unlock stuff and save these kids and put them with their parents. It's a weird thing. Then you'll love this game. It's pretty neat. I like it. Now I've only been able to spend about an hour and a half on it since I downloaded it today on my PS4.
Pretty good though. That's a pretty good bit of time for this game because it just came out today.
Yeah, it's freaking free, dude.
PS4,
or yesterday, Tuesday, technically.
Tuesday.
Yeah, you can download it for free. So just go get it and try it out and see what you think. It's on PC as well. I want to say on sale on Steam for like $12, $11.99 or something.
And the board's kind of laid out. It looks like each little area that you go to is laid out in kind of like a checkerboard kind of pattern.
It's always random, so you never have the same thing twice. You have limited energy. You pick up objects. You try to match them up. It unlocks areas or creates power-ups or health or weird mystery stuff you haven't heard of yet because you haven't done it first. So the first time you do it, it's like, oh, look, you unlock the ability to whatever. You have a house where you can keep all your stuff. You got a cat in there that you can throw.
A cat, yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching some videos on this earlier, and yeah, you pick up the cat because he comes up and immediately, just like a real cat, when you walk through the door, he
comes up
all over
nestling with you and stuff. He loves you.
Right.
He wants to be a part
also
of your
saw
life.
some video where they were taking. Did you get to the part where you take like the honey hives?
Yeah, you combine them.
And you combine them.
Yeah, and you get food. You get a little honey pot out of it, and that increases your health, energy points or whatever they are. As you fight, which is good because sometimes you really need that stuff, and it gets progressively harder. And you want to try to throw things. It's a very smart kind of smarty man puzzle game. The art style is adorable and just neat. And watching these kids freezing in the snow and trying to find their parents is actually kind of really rewarding. I like it.
Now, isn't there a overarching kind of theme to the game as well?
There's just a big story.
Well, I mean, you have to be careful when you use because you have to use an energy element, and you don't want to use up all your energy. But it seems like you play forward the energy you don't use.
Yeah, it does. It carries forward. It's like rollover minutes.
Right, it's like rollover minutes.
Yeah, you totally can, and you want to do that because it's harder, right? So you want to have more energy to expend. I'm not finding it super hard, but again, I'm only about an hour and a half in, so I need some more time with it.
I'm thinking that the most challenging part is probably gonna increasingly get harder as your energy stores decrease because
makes sense,
like
right?
Saying it rolled over, and then eventually you're gonna like, okay, I've got to solve this puzzle in 3 moves.
Yeah, it's a charming little turd. I think it's
a charming little turd. Is it?
I want Nicole to try it. It's free, so you should download it, Nicole.
Yeah, I'll give it a download.
Go download. Go delete those those Destiny alphas and betas that are taking up all your hard drive space.
I don't think I'm going to run out of space anytime soon.
Yeah, but those are useless.
What you got?
Well, no, they're useless if you don't.
That's true. I guess I should just delete them
because they're not doing another public beta. So it's like, well,
kind of don't want to though.
You just kind of want to keep them there. When the game comes out, it'll be all fresh files. You can just chuck the old ones. It's not going to use them. You're going to end up with 3 installs, and those other 2 you'll just forget.
Yeah,
and go.
I need to delete them.
Yeah, I did that today.
I missed that game.
I know. Soon,
You know, there's a website that has a countdown clock, right?
No, I didn't know that.
DestinyCountdown.com, I think it is.
I'm going to go look. Let's see. Destiny Countdown. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, you're right. .com, and it's got all these numbers. Let's see here. 33 days, 6 hours, 20 minutes, 40 seconds. 38 37.
This is called. Thank you, Scott. For
we got an interesting conversation about the Destiny game, and Stephanie in particular isn't excited about it because it's not what she considers an MMO. And so we started talking about that, and Naboo on Twitter said, Bungie has said this is not a MMO. It's meant to be open world. And I guess if you just approach it with the right expectation, you're not going to be disappointed. So I think Stephanie approached it like, oh, this is going to be MMO, like, wow, but it was never meant to be like that.
Yeah. No, it's not even close to that, but I don't want that anyway. I have that in WoW and other games. I want something more akin to this, which is this action-based friends getting together, kick some trash, have some progression, kind of experience. This is exactly what I want. I already have those other things.
But it was from her perspective. She had in her mind MMO.
Yeah.
So of course when she went into it, she was disappointed. So
yeah. I could see that.
It all matters how you go into the game,
sure,
what you're going to think it is.
Sure. Well, hopefully she'll be surprised by the final release. I hope it. My only worry about that game at all is that they can sustain that over a long period of time, because those games are only as good as you can make them last. And with Borderlands, you did that with not multiplayer content, but there was co-op, but it was more about your character progression, story, and DLC that added to that experience. A game like this is all about new areas. There's story, but it's also about new areas, new things, new unlockables, new loot, and all that. They have to keep that up.
Well, and those rift-like things that would happen.
Yeah, those are cool, right?
Yeah, way cool.
Yeah, that game's going to be great. Whatever, man, I can't wait. When is that? Next month. Yeah.
Next month, September.
33 days. Jeez.
We got a countdown.
Probably the weekend my wife or my daughter has her wedding. That'd be funny, right?
Oh no, I don't think it is.
Sorry, guys, I gotta leave early. Dad's got a little work to do.
Still watching the countdown clock.
I know, right? Okay, well, there's that. So that game's great. Road Not Taken. It's free on PlayStation 4 and, like I said, on Steam and other platforms. And I don't think on mobile or anything else yet, but it would be perfect on an iPad or an Android pad tablet. It'd just be perfect.
Android pad.
The Android pad. Also played Royal Quest for the PC. I'll just touch on this one because I've, again, barely scratched the surface. It's free to play. It came out today. And it's from the guys who did the King or the Queen. Or no. How's it go? Something's Bounty. King's Bounty. That's it. Which are turn-based strategy games. And I've talked about those on the show before. And I've always liked them a lot. They have a free-to-play one that I don't like very much. But everything up till now has been really good. Royal Quest for the PC is free to play, and it's basically a big MMO played in the viewpoint of an isometric camera type game, like the recent what's that one we just played that Nicole didn't end up loving? Sacred. No, not Sacred. No, that's different.
Not Sacred.
The other one.
Did I not lie?
The Soul.
Souls.
Sacrifice your soul.
Who will save your soul?
No, the one that you didn't like how you couldn't split the characters apart and have one stand on the thing.
And Divinity.
Divinity. Gosh dang it.
Original Sin.
Original Sin.
It's not there was just, yeah.
That's a big, thick piece of meat, that thing.
Yeah, it is.
And you got to be ready for that.
If I commit to it a little bit longer, maybe it'll start winning me over. I don't know.
Well, this game might be more your speed. It's that viewpoint, but it's an MMO. Like literally walk into the world, talk to a dude with a question mark. He gives you a quest. Go do the quest.
It really looks like WoW. I mean,
it is, but imagine WoW with a camera pulled way up, and it's all mouse movement. Like you're not WASDing this thing.
Right.
It's a pretty game, although I'd say it skews very Asian in terms of its look. It's very Korean looking. Probably is Korean. It reminds me of all these Korean developed games. But yeah, it seems
it's definitely got a World of Warcraft color palette.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Texturing.
Yeah. It also looks like it was made to be very portable to other devices and machines, so I have a feeling this will end up on like an iPad or something. I like it, though. It's fun. It has a real nice feel to it. It's real smooth and convincing. You click on a dude. I'm playing an archer, so you click on a dude, and he just keeps shooting until the guy's dead. You can throw spells out while he's doing it, but you're not having to hit a bunch of keys a bunch. It's real casual. I don't know. I'm into this sometimes, this sort of thing, and it's an RPG, so they have me at that, so I like it.
I got a little concerned. I sometimes I get in the free to play area on Steam, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to play. Sometimes this game looks on the surface very much like a lot of other crap games that I've played.
Agreed.
And plus it's called Royal Quest. I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be like one step above a Facebook game.
Yeah, it does sound like it, doesn't it?
I just know it and feel it in my bones.
Yeah.
And I had seen this
Saga. They should add Saga to the end
they
of it.
should.
Right. Exactly. So I just kind of immediately just said, nope, not doing it. But seeing it from your eyes, I'm going to have to give this.
It's worth trying. There's very little barrier to entry here. It just uses your Steam account for your account stuff, so you're not having to sign up for a bunch of crap, which I hate.
Right.
I'm sick of doing that with everything I play.
Oh, this is from the King's Bounty series.
Yeah, King's
Did you
Bounty.
Say that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, King. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
the art style is different than that, though. That's the one part that threw me a little bit is that. But the graphics generally are nice and everything flows nicely. Good UI elements and some nice crafting stuff thrown in there. And I'm not super deep, but I've gotten in enough to know what it means to run some quests and go to the tavern and talk to the lady and get more quests and kill more stuff. And
Isn't that such a trope? Going to the tavern, talking to the
lady, right? You do it every time.
You do it every game.
It's an automatic.
Always
it's like,
holding 2 mugs.
Yeah,
of ale.
It's like water in that Minority Report.
No.
We're not going there. We're not going there. All right, fine. We're not going there. Anyway, go check it out. I noticed there's some reference to iOS maybe getting this, and I don't. Oh, here it is. The Royal Quest. That may not be the same.
Oh yeah, I know. That's got a "the" in front of it. That might be a.
Yeah, I don't think this is
that may be your Facebook game right there. We'll have to.
Yeah, this looks more like this looks like something else. So this is not it. But Royal Quest, check it out for free, totally free. And then I played a lot more Marvel Heroes. I don't have to tell you much more about that, except I've almost leveled up my my Miss Marvel. She's rad. She's great. Like I told you, I wasn't sure about her, but I'm totally sure about her now. She's awesome. That game's great. They really made a good game. Broforce, still playing a lot of that. Oh, and I did play Expendabros. You want to know what this is?
That's that free thing, right?
Yeah, dude. So Broforce is basically, Expendables the game. It always has been. It's all about, Robo Bro and all the Schwartz Commando Bro and all these bros that are from movies and like action films of the 80s, and it's all over the top and ridiculous and awesome. I love that game.
And they're not apologizing for looking totally like Jason Statham in some of these shots.
No, they're doing that on purpose. And in the case of this one, they are licensed to be those characters because they have a cross promotion deal with the Expendables 3, and this is a standalone free game. Normally, you'd pay $15 for the other one, and it's still the much larger, much more expansive, much more value game. But if you want some free levels and some fun 4-player co-op, Expendabros is that. And
they got. I'm looking at Terry Crews here. I'm looking at
it's the cast of the movie.
It's the whole cast, yeah.
And you slowly unlock them all, and that's basically the extent of the game. It's not nearly, like I said, as in depth as the full game. And they'll remind you, at parts of the menu and stuff that, hey, why don't you go ahead and get full Expendabros, where Ripley from Aliens and 4 different.
They're not
Arnolds
actually getting the licensing of these for these likenesses.
The likeness of these people
for this game, for this standalone, yes, they are. Because
they are getting...
Yeah, because the standalone is a approved, like it's a cross promoted deal. Like they paid them to make this.
Gotcha.
To help promote the
movie. Didn't know if Lindsay Lohan was going to come sue.
Is she in that thing? Expendables 3?
No, she was. She says she thinks she's in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, that.
And she went and sued them for her likeness.
Yeah, and didn't they tell her to F off because it's not her?
I'm not even gonna. Well, if you look like a whatever, I'm not even. Let's just be nice to Lindsay Lohan this week.
Yeah, whatever. She sucks. Point is, Expendabros, totally fun waste of time. And if you haven't already pulled the trigger pull
the trigger
on the other one on Broforce, then you should get that and try it. It'll whet your palate, and I think you'll end up buying the other one. I love Broforce.
I love Broforce as well, but I was kind of. I saw the Expendabros, and I was kind of like, I don't want another Bros game. I'm kind of I'm kind of on Bros burnout right now.
No, play it, because then you get essentially you'll save money from going to see that dumb movie, because this is essentially the whole thing.
I thought we had to see it for Film Sack anyway, didn't we?
Yeah, that's true. We probably watched this one for Film Sack. Because 3 just came out, and the reviews aren't great. But
yeah, well,
the point is, game's cool, and it's the same game, so it's not as big. And this gameplay is going to just give you a taste for that other game. The other game is getting real hard, man. Oof, I'm in a place where I'm just getting my arse handed to me every 5 seconds. But I'm a huge Broforce fan. It is my favorite game of 2014 that came out in 2013.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's still in technically beta, so I guess it's not really come out yet, but I love it. Okay, that's it for me. Brian.
Okay.
What's Only If? What the hell is that?
What is Only If? What ain't Only If? Only If is okay. You've played the creepypasta kind of games. You've played the
creepypasta. What?
Well, not really creepypasta. You've played the Slender Man kind of games, that kind of stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
This is nothing like that. Other than
all right.
Other than it's a first person adventure puzzle kind of game, and there's actually a point to it. But the overall idea or mood is to scare the bejesus out of you.
Does it succeed? Does it do it?
Or at least creep you out. And it does creep you out, because you start off and you're apparently a teenager, or maybe college, I'm not sure, but you go to this house party where there's a girl that you're interested in. All this is told through the character's dialogue. He says, he's going, I hope I fit in. He gets there, and immediately the screen fades to white, and you wake up in a bed by yourself in this room. And you gotta get up and walk around and explore the room and figure out how to get out of the room. Pretty straightforward first part. As soon as you get out of the first room, this weird smoke monster kind of thing happens where you feel like you're in an episode of Lost, and there's all this surrounding noise, this kind of like almost like a train or something's coming to get you, and you black out.
That one game. You're holding. I can't remember the name. I just blanked on it. You know what I'm talking about, Scott?
The one where you coming home?
No, not coming. Well, that one, but that one's not scary at all.
Which one? Was it that terrible one I played?
No, it's not a good one. It's like you slip slowly into insanity.
Amnesia. Yeah.
No, they don't try to make you feel like you're slipping into.
That game scared the living hell out of me. Ugh.
Yeah, and this game is not really as much about the jumps as it's just like a slow slip into what it would feel like if someone had kidnapped you and drugged you and was toying with your mind. Yeesh. And that's basically what's going on. You got the second room you get into. I don't want to give it too much away, but this is pretty early on in the game. You
sounds like my prom date in junior high.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you find out that there's a guy communicating with you through like a little jam box, a little radio. Yeah. And he's telling you the instructions on what you have to do in each of the room to get out of the room and to move on to the next place. And if you fail, you might be punished, or you have decisions to make whether you're going to go, whether you're going to sacrifice yourself or
this is Saw.
Else.
This is
Saw. It is basically Saw. Yeah, exactly.
It is Saw.
It's like one of those games where they're messing with you, and there's a couple of different paths you can take, and I like it. I'm afraid that I've read some bad reviews though. It's free to play.
I was gonna say GameSpot. You know what they say about it? They gave it a 2 out of 10. According to them, that's a grade of terrible. They say the good, a few moments of beauty and intrigue. The bad, awful characters spewing awful dialogue. Dumb story comes to a repulsive conclusion. Awkward, glitchy gameplay elements. Arbitrary trial and error objectives. And finally, game-breaking bug.
Okay, I haven't encountered any bugs yet.
2 out of 10, man.
I haven't gotten far enough into the story to know that I'm going to hate it yet.
Yeah.
So I'm still pretty early on in the story. What I'm doing so far, I think the idea is really good. I think what they're doing is really good, and it's beautiful. And I actually think that the character banter is fresh. It's more like if you were to look and have you seen Purge?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen either of the Purge movies.
You haven't seen either of the Purge?
No,
I've only seen the trailers.
I've
For the
seen
next 12
close
hours,
enough.
all crime will be legal. That stuff.
Yeah, that's.
Right. It's kind of like in that vein of dialogue. It's a lot more modern. I could definitely see where someone who is an older gamer would not care for how the story or the voice acting is, but I actually like the voice acting. I think it feels it's unique and genuine.
Well, I'm going to put something in. I'm going to put something in the chat, and you tell me if you've heard. I'm not going to say it out loud because it's kind of horrible. But have you heard this line? Because apparently the reviewer on GameSpot could not get past this line. So somebody calls someone this. So there it is in Skype.
Yes, I'm not even.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, they do that, but I'm kind of like.
We'll call it PF for the listeners at home.
Right, and
not PF Chang's anyway. Either way,
no,
what now? Sorry,
not all. It's very. At first I was a little bit rubbed the wrong way with some of the language, but then I went. I've heard a lot worse in other video games. But
here's this. Hold on, let me read you this. My suspicion was only confirmed about how bad this game was when it concluded with a story twist that M. Night Shyamalan might have contorted if he were a drug-addled, sexually frustrated high school senior.
Totally. Woo. That is probably a good description. But like I said, I think it's a unique view. I don't think I've seen this kind of. I haven't seen exactly this mixture.
A homophobic view.
Yeah, very homophobic view. Thank you, Nicole. For
it very well could be. It's very offensive in certain parts, but it's only offensive.
I love when you defend these things. I love it.
It's crazy. It is really crazy.
Guess somebody has to.
Because I defend it in my mind because at first I'm like, this is so offensive, and then I'm like, okay, where's the perspective coming from? Okay, the bad guy who's trying to kill me. So this might be something the bad guy would say.
Sure.
So I'm like, okay, am I a bad person? I don't seem to be a bad person, so I'm okay. Let's continue playing the game to see where this goes.
No, yeah. I mean, you should be able to play a game and see what's what. But
right. Ultimately, it's probably going to break down in the story. It's probably going to break down. I'm going to get to a certain point. I'm going to get pissed because I'm like, this is stupid. Because there are certain things that they ask you to do that when you solve the puzzle, you're like, well, that was stupid. Yeah. That was just me crawling around a room.
Kid yourself, Brian. You're only going to play a demo's worth. It's not going to be.
Yeah, you're not going to keep going, are you?
It's free to play. I might actually go back and play a little bit more, just because when I see people review something so poorly, it intrigues me. It's like, I got to see how bad this really is. I got to see if it's really as bad as they're saying.
Well, I'm digging back, and I cannot find a review as poor as this one.
I doubt you will find very many reviews worse than this. And
wow, they don't like it.
No,
they do not.
They don't like it at all.
All right. Well, there's that game. So save your money, I'd say.
Right. Only if you don't.
You're no money for free to play.
What is Road Not Taken? What the hell's that?
Oh, that's the game that I want to play that you just talked about.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Yeah, we did just talk about it. Duh.
I'm gonna start doing a little each week after I get through reviewing my games. I'm gonna kind of talk about what's on my radar, the games I want to play this next week. So that way the listeners can kind of, if they want to play it as well.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea. Yeah. Nicole, tell me about you traveled a lot. This week, so lots of iOS games.
Yes. So I got back into Hearthstone.
Yeah.
And
always
played all three. Well, the third quarter came out today, and I'm already done with it.
It's quick, isn't it? Well, normal, it's real quick.
Yeah, on normal. And I'm only playing my Pally deck. And yeah, I'm really having a lot of fun with that adventure mode.
I like it too. I just wish it felt more replayable. And we talked about this on the instance, and Dills had suggested that maybe they need to do some things to just make it more. I mean, there's heroic mode, which is just harder. And then there's those class challenge things in there. But it'd be really nice if it was something you feel like you could just kind of go back to, like a daily quest or something.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're good too. They're strong.
I feel pretty badass as I'm just one-shotting each boss in normal mode. I'm like, this honeymoon's about to end pretty soon.
Yeah, especially if you go and do heroic. But that's good. If you've got a strong deck, why not? I mean, that's the whole point of the game, I guess.
Yeah, I went and bought internet access on Southwest, and I'm so glad I did. Because that's what I played the entire time, my 3-hour flight.
Nice.
To Missouri and back from Missouri.
Miseries, I like to say it. Yeah.
Missouri.
You never hear that, I'm sure. That's the first time.
Yeah, I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, playing that, and also I picked up a game that I was able to play offline called Bonza. This is a word puzzle game.
Bonza?
And Bonza, Bonza. You can pick this up on iOS and Google Play.
All right.
And when I picked it up, it was free. I think it was like the app of the day, but it's 99 cents.
Okay.
And if I'm not that big into word games and crossword puzzle games, but this one's an interesting one, and it's a little deceiving because the tutorial, you're like, oh, this is so easy. But as you start unlocking each word pack, it gets harder and harder and harder. And the way that they've done it is the crosswords are all filled out for you, but they break them up. And there's a theme. So, for instance, a clue would be eye of the ...
Tiger.
So,
Wolf.
Tiger. And so you have an idea of what these words are going to be, and then you start to bring the puzzles together.
Oh, and when they're separate, I'm looking at screenshots. When they're separate, they look like Tetris pieces.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, weird.
Exactly.
Okay, that's cool.
Really fun, surprisingly addictive little game.
I'm gonna get it.
That I highly recommend.
Really, I love it.
It's
I
a lot
like
of
me
fun.
some. I'm a big fan of word games, so I'm kind of the opposite of you. I usually kind of seek those out, and I had not heard of this one. I'll check it out.
Because I'm more of a word search kind of gal.
Yeah. I like to look those words up.
Like the circle them, find them. That's what I like, those search and find puzzle games.
Is it bad that I
right?
just pictured you at like a speed dating and you're sitting across from some nerd and you go, kind of a word search kind of gal. I kind of just picture you saying that for some reason.
And they're like, I'm more crossword puzzle. I'm like, yeah, it'll never work.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Yeah, may as well move on to the next chair, lady. Not interested. That's cool. I'll get it. I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a neat little
downloading
twist
it now. Okay.
To the word
Oh, it's
games.
highly reviewed.
Oh yeah, it's
People
very
dig it.
highly reviewed.
Yeah, look at that. People are digging it. Okay, cool. Good one.
And then I also have there's a free version. So if you download the game, it's free on iOS. I don't believe it's on Android. It's called Revolution 60. And at first, when I started to play this, I really wasn't sure what was going on. It's really well done. It's made by four women made it. And it's about 4 women in the game. And they're on a mission. And
to make a game?
So about 4 women.
No, I'm not sure what they're doing, but they're on a mission.
Because
they only give you the first chapter for free.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the tutorial that gives you the basis of the characters. The voice acting is really great in it. The story is compelling. The gameplay, when you finally get into the gameplay, it's all turn-based and action-based. It works really well on the iOS. I would definitely recommend downloading it, trying it out, because I found myself really, really enjoying this game to the point when I got to the end of it, I paid for the full game, which is $6. So
how much did it cost? It's all $6 total.
It's $6 total, but they give you the first chapter.
But you can play the thing and then you unlock it. I was thinking it was separate things.
So I really enjoy it. It was surprising, and it's all question based. So you're building your character and answering. So you can answer snarky or you can answer straightforward, and depending on how you answer, you get certain points to your character and how you level her up. So, and I think there's multiple endings. It's a cool game, and it's when you're fighting in combat, depending on what you're doing. So there's like action based. So you'll have a circle that you'll have to follow along, or you'll have to move your character from side to side as you're fighting another character and missing the gunshots and things like that. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
It's a lot of cool fun.
I'm going to try that one as well.
For ladies.
I can already tell. I've only done 2 of these puzzles, but I can already tell that I'm going to love this.
Oh, Bonza?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is totally my thing. I'm into this.
It gets a lot harder. And there's celebrities that create puzzle packs that you can purchase.
Oh, no way, really?
Celebrity Bonza.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Like celebrity designers, things like that.
That's awesome.
So the in-app purchases of that Bonza game, anywhere from 99 cents to $5, depending on
what
you want to unlock. But they give you a lot for free, or 99 cents.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is great.
So yeah, check out Bonza and Revolution 60.
I like when you go on trips because you always find these games.
Right?
Yeah, I like that stuff. All right, we're going to see if Dan's around, so I'm going to try to add him here to the call. Because Skype is being weird lately with how I add people.
I'm grabbing Bonza now on my Android phone because my child has my iPhone. So we're going to try that here as well.
Well, that's fine. That sounds like fun.
Bonza word puzzle.
All right, there he is. Let's see if this works. And if it does, I have a theme right here.
Intruder alert, intruder alert.
Ooh, listen to that. Hey, everybody. Why don't you just set a spell, pull up a chair, and listen to Dan Patrice sing the happy songs of gameplay that comes out of you sitting at a table with a bunch of your doorknob friends.
So happy.
Why don't you do that?
So happy.
How you doing, man?
Well, I'm not doing all that good.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uncle EA sent me a cease and desist order because my two dads were arguing about water.
Nice. Nice. Good job.
Nice, dude.
Too soon?
No, it's never too soon. The idea, just the gumption somebody might have of thinking Brian and I would ever actually be at odds with one another is just the funniest thing ever.
Especially over a movie.
Yeah, who cares?
You get about that sort of stuff, the funner it is when, or the more fun it is with your friends. That's kind of why you're there.
Yeah, no, in a way, this was just, think of the last time anybody sat down with their buddy at a couch and argued over which Star Wars movie was better. I mean, that's basically the fight we were having, and you're supposed to have those conversations. It can't all be, fresh chicken and hot leaves. I don't even know what that is.
I like that analogy, but that's not anything like the symbolism that was in Minority Report.
No, nothing at all like that.
I don't know how you saw that because hot leaves is tattooed on my butt.
Of course it is. It's your nickname all through college. So Dan, what's going on in the world of tabletop gaming anyway?
All right, so Dunaway, do you have a stopwatch ready?
Yeah. I can bring me up a stopwatch real quick here.
All right, we're gonna do the try. Well,
right,
I did this is the 2x Gen Con Final Score Edition.
Right.
Hope everybody's ready for this.
All right.
All right, boys and girls, keep your hands and feet inside the roller coaster at all times. We're gonna attempt to go from 0 to 11 great buy games in 4 minutes.
All right.
To get in more games mentioned, I took out Epic Resort, which we did last week. It would have been number 4 on this list, and I think it's about $45.
All right.
And I got confirmation it'll be there in limited quantities. So without further ado,
all right,
Dunaway, give me 4 minutes on the clock.
Go.
All right, Gollum Arcana is number 11. It's $80. It's harebrained schemes. You're gonna take gaming tabletop into and marry it with the iPad. So it's gonna be some miniatures on a map, but you're gonna use the stylus to do things. Looks really, really cool. Number 10, Warhammer 40K Conquest. It's an LCG by Fantasy Flight Games. It's gonna be really awesome card games, kind of like a Magic the Gathering but 40K. Number 9, The Witcher Adventure Game, which looks awesome. Fantasy Flight as well. Is made by Ignacy Trevicek. It's like Eldritch Horror, but has the Witcher universe in it. $60. Number 8, Abyss by Bombix by Bruno Cathala. It's kind of a little bit of a nutty game. It's got cards. It's really hard to get into. However, the art looks fantastic, and I hear it's a great game to play. Imperial Settlers is at number 7. Another game by Ignacy Trevicek. It's a remake of the game 51st State. It's going to be about $50. Great art. It's got 4 factions in it. It's a great game. A little bit of Screw Your Neighbor, but just a total lot of fun. Number 6, King of New York. We all love King of Tokyo. King of New York is coming out. It's going to be a little bit more deeper. It's going to be a lot more to do. It's going to be a total. This is a complete must-buy as well. $50 by Aiello. Number 5, Five Tribes, Days of Wonder. Bruno Cathala again, just like Abyss. This is Meeples, and it's got a Mancala mechanic. Pick it up. It's going to be awesome. Everything Days of Wonder. That's who did Ticket to Ride. Number 4, Dead of Winter by Plaid Hat Games. That was from my very first appearance on a Final Score. It's finally going to be out. $60. Social game, zombies, post-apocalyptic. Nicole, pick it up.
Okay.
Number 3. I'm cheating here because I got 2 at number 3. Diamonds, Stronghold Games, $25. It's trick taking, kind of like spades or hearts, only a little bit deeper because you get powers when you get a trick. Also, Panamax by Stronghold Games, $60. It's a heavy euro. It's about shipping goods through the Panama Canal. A lot funner than it sounds, but it's going to be a dry euro, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to be 120 copies. Got to run to the Stronghold Games booth to get it. Number 2, Legendary Encounters, an alien deck building game. You take Aliens, the movie, and you turn it into a deck building game. You can actually have the other players can get a face hugger, and they can turn against you in the game. $60, Upper Deck Entertainment, awesome. And
you
the
can't
number
skip
1.
through that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
The number 1. game to buy that I will be running to actually came out today, but I'm leaving it on the Gen Con list. DC Crisis Expansion Pack 1 for the DC deck building game. It turns the DC deck building game co-op. And also gives you impossible villains to go against in the regular game. It's only $20.
This is friends at Cryptozoic, man, knocking it out.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to get this in my hands.
Oh, that was number 1. Look at you, dude. You tore through it. How much time left, Dunwang?
Wow, you still got like another minute to go.
That's
like a minute 15 seconds.
And the grand total for all this chits and giggles is $625. So you better bring a lot of money to Gen Con if you're going to get them all.
Holy crap! You don't think about that, but yeah, that'll add up, right?
I'm lightheaded.
Are you going to be the guy that walks out of there with all 10 of those titles, or 13 if you count the cheat ones?
If I want to keep Janice married to me, I don't think it'll be happening. I'll probably get at least a couple of the cheap ones. I'll probably get about 3 or 4 of them on this list.
All right.
I'm really hoping that Witcher game comes out because it looks really cool and I've heard some really good things.
I've heard good stuff about that, totally. And you know the one that really gets me excited of the entire list you read for some reason is the 40K one. I really want to play that card game.
Yeah. It's a living card game. They've got really good pedigree right now because Netrunner is really, really good. So I think they're going to put a lot of that into the Warhammer 40K game. It's got this really cool thing where you're mixing factions together.
Yeah.
You're going to be mixing factions together to come up with your own decks from what's in the box. So it's going to be it's going to be fun.
It sounds fantastic. Amazing. Yeah, I want to play that. I like the 40K universe, and anytime there's something more to do in there, I'm kind of game. Well, good, man. Nice. Geez, nice list. And this is this week, is it?
I'll be leaving. Actually, I'm leaving Tuesday to drive up there. So next Wednesday night, I'll actually be at the beer garden because they're doing in Indianapolis. They've got a beer garden outside the convention center, and they have a tapping because they always have a beer that's the local beer of the con.
Yeah.
So they'll have a little tapping thing going on at 6, and then that night we'll have a little at the Tilted Kilt. We got a little Geek All Stars meetup that night.
So, very nice. What's how long of a drive is it for you to get there? Just curious.
It's probably going to be about 10 hours.
That's not bad. That's like me going to San Diego or something. That's not too bad. Well, excellent.
It'll be fun. I'm sure we'll be trying to put in some game design on the way up there.
Yeah. Well, be safe and come on back with some great stories to tell. All right.
Oh, without a doubt. I can't wait to play some games and tell you guys about it.
Geek Jock blog on Twitter, and keep an eye on that all week while he's enjoying the Gen Con goodness that will surely come his way.
Have a good one, guys.
Stay out of trouble, man. See ya.
Wow, that was
great.
A lot to take in.
I got
to rewind that and go back over it.
I know, because I don't understand anything that just happened. What happened? I don't even know.
What just happened? All I know is I want to go play some board games now. That's all I know.
Let's do it.
Need food badly.
I need food.
This week's big news item: Nintendo's lead indie kind of, what would you call him? Evangelist?
Yeah, he was their indie guy.
He was in charge of pushing indie on Nintendo platforms. Dan Adelman, he has left the company, but returns to Twitter. His tweet was the funniest thing ever. I'm going to bring this up.
I love that.
He said this. I got to continue to the site.
Because
Thanks,
they kind of put a muzzle on him after he started Nintendo. Nintendo's very tight vested with anybody they work with, really.
They get real weird about that. They don't want to be real transparent with the public. They're going to have to fix that. You can't do that today and last much longer. You gotta be a little bit more open and willing to mingle. Blizzard had to go through this transition. Sony, Microsoft, everybody does. You got to get used to the way the web works now and the way that social media works. And if you don't, you're just behind the 8 ball. But his tweet said this. This is at Dan_Adelman, ADELMAN, if you want to follow him. Happy to announce I reached an arrangement with Nintendo of America whereby I can tweet again. Arrangement includes me not working there anymore. So he's out. And that's the end of that. He's going to move on. It's too bad because muzzling this guy who was such a proponent of indie development on the platform and probably is responsible for cool things like Shovel Knight and other things making it there at all is not going to be there anymore. So I think it seems bad to me. So it said this. He said this to Kotaku. I had been strongly encouraged to stay off of Twitter or at least say only things that were clearly safe. So after the region locking comment, they just said I needed to stop completely. When people started complaining that I wasn't active on Twitter anymore, I was suggested to the PR person that I could post in my name. I thought that was about the worst idea, I thought that was about the worst idea I'd ever had. So I left it as it is and let the silence speak for itself. Anyway, bottom line is he's out on to other things, and it's unfortunate.
indie people are, I think, a lot different than big business, and we've seen this happen and come up as an issue many times.
Well, and it's not even that he's being indie. It's not even that. That's not the problem. He's saying things that are perhaps critical or in agreement with other people's criticisms of Nintendo's current inability to do certain things on their platforms, like have an open developer platform, or in some other ways having a unified login and having that work across systems, and instead having these weird codes and freaking weird mixed usernames and all the stuff they do. To be critical of that is going to get you shut down if you work there, and that's I guess that's going to be true most places.
Right,
but, I just feel bad that he's not there to do the other part, which was his job, which was to encourage indies to come there. And I remember when the Wii first came out, that was the big platform everyone talked about. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have all these old Nintendo games plus a bunch of new stuff from new developers, and that it never really paid off the way it needed to.
It didn't, and then Microsoft kind of stepped up, and they were all hot and heavy. They were gonna
Live Arcade just creamed them.
Yeah, and then they kind of backed out of that as well. And it seems like Sony is the first company, the last company that's getting it right so far.
For consoles, yeah. I mean, Steam owns the rest of it.
Well, yeah.
Some would say Steam's gone too far with letting just anything in there, but I don't know. There's a happy medium somewhere. I think Sony's striving for it. I think Microsoft will also want to strive for it. I don't know what Nintendo wants to do. Nintendo may at some point just say, it's all just stuff with Mario in it. Take it or leave it. They might.
The next console is just going to be a giant Mario. You stick a disc in his mouth. Is that how that's
yeah, and it'll be Mario games in the mouth, and it'll occasionally Kirby will show up. It's just going to be like that.
Now, I would buy a Kirby Nintendo unit that would suck up my CD. I would totally buy that.
Just pull it out of the air. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Change colors and clothes and stuff based on that. That'd be great.
That's what they need to focus on. A cool device that I can put near my TV that's a Mario licensed character. I would buy that right now.
I'm into that. There's your news. Nicole.
Yes.
You going to give away some stuff in the chat room?
I'm going to give away some games in the chat room. How about that?
I think that sounds great.
All right, chat room. You know how this works, or maybe you don't. But I'm going to tell you right now. Yep. If you're in the chat room, I'm in as Nicole Spag. So I'm going to name the games, and you're going to send me a private message of the game that you would like. And if you're on Twitter and you're safely not driving,
very important.
You send me a tweet as well. And there have been games that people don't pick up during the live show, so you might be able to get one if it hasn't been claimed on Twitter later on. Again, Nicole Spag on Twitter. So here we go. These games are courtesy of Melissa. So Melissa Harbridge.
Harbridge.
We have one from Morgan. He sent in
Morgan Freeman.
No, not Morgan Freeman.
I appreciate the free video game.
Like 5 different games. I have one from Neff, and I have 3 from Nick. So here are the games. We have Sangfroid Slice.
Sangfroid.
Slice. I have that game.
Swam through a mile of shit and came out clean on the other side.
Waking Mars, Stacking, Combat Wings, Battle of Britain, Inquisitor Deluxe Edition, Xenoclash 2, Volt, Sparkle 2, Half-Life 2, and The Ship.
That's all good.
There you go. Those are the games I'm giving away this week.
All right. So, you know how to get a hold of her right there in the chat.
They're all Steam keys. And hopefully they work, because some of these have been in my email box for a little long.
If you don't get what you want, we'll send you something else.
Yeah, I'll send you something.
It'll all work out. It does. Well, that's very nice. Very nice indeed. Got a couple of bits of feedback here. Instead of emails this week, we're doing some stuff from Twitter. TFS Show is where you follow us. And we got some interesting stuff here. Zolcora said, please stop saying Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein?
Was it me?
No, I say
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein. You say Wolfenstein.
No, I don't say Steen. I say Stein.
Oh, okay. Wolfenstein is what you say. So
I think I say Stein.
Brian, what do you say? What do you say? Where are you at?
I bounce back and forth between both of them. I will usually say Wolfenstein but I have to say it with a German accent. Like,
I always said Wolfenstein growing up. That's just when that game was first out in like the mid 90s or whatever, late 90s, I guess.
Right.
Early 90s. I was into
both pronunciations.
I liked it. I was fine with it.
Right.
I was down with it, and so I stayed with it. Got one from Topher Pettit who says, got EA's story wrong on the show. You don't need Xbox Live Gold for it. You only need Gold if you want to play EA games in multiplayer. Yeah, this came out soon after we did the show, and that, of course, makes sense. You can now continue to use your PlayStation Plus free games, and why Xbox doesn't do that, they do. It's called Xbox Gold games. Needed to be corrected. Yeah, fair enough. The point with the... Yes, you can go buy Madden or, let's say, Battlefield 4
right.
Via this new program and not have Xbox Gold Live. But what's the point of having those games without multiplayer? So I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying you will be compelled to, because suddenly a game like Battlefield is useless without multiplayer. What's the point of that game without it? It is a multiplayer game. I know there's a single-player game. You can play it, but it's not very good. It's okay, but it's nothing like the multiplayer. So yeah, point made, but I still think you're going to want to have both. Steve Dodds says, TFS show, how different is PlayStation Plus from Xbox Live Gold?
Here. Got
we definitely have Dodds. You get free games with Gold now, even on Xbox One. Not sure what you get with PlayStation Plus. Yeah, it is similar, actually. The game selection is different. That doesn't mean it's worse or better. The other difference is I don't think you're getting the discounts that you get with PlayStation Plus. I could be wrong on that, though. I do not currently have an Xbox One, so I can't speak to this directly. But I think you get more discounts on games than you do with Xbox Live Gold.
To me, this has always been true of Microsoft for the most part. They will eventually come into line with what works. And I think
so will Sony. I mean, what has Sony done? Yeah. They've done the same. They've had to evolve their thing. And don't forget, this is Sony. This time is saying their old thing last generation was, hey, you don't have to pay for multiplayer with us, but now you do.
You know who doesn't come into line? Nintendo. Oh, I'm hating on Nintendo today.
Oh, you're hating on Nintendo. Now we're gonna get tweets about Nintendo getting hating on. Anyway, thanks for those. At TFS shows, you can share your thoughts, your questions, or whatever for us here on the show, and we'd be happy to talk about them right here. Okay? All right. Yay. Now it's time for this.
We're kicking it old school.
Time to kick it old school. Old video game time, all right? Something good, something bad. This one probably lands in the bad category.
Something really bad.
Yeah. This is from 1999. It's Pepsiman. Brian, tell us about Pepsiman.
All right, well, let's just put it this way. You're a Pepsi man. All right, what is Pepsi man? You say, okay.
I'm wearing a Pepsi logo on my shirt. Is that
right, okay. From the, I think it was somewhere around it has to be the 90s that Pepsi Man came into play, which is exactly what you think it is. It is where Pepsi incorporated this weird man hero guy who took care of his people. It took care of the thirst. So just like the angry Noid, who for Domino's, it was Domino's, right? Who did the angry Noid? Yeah. Or he made sure that things weren't cold. He would fight the cold. This guy would fight for your beverage needs. And as such, they went on and gave us a video game, but they didn't give it to us. They just gave it to the Japanese. And if you read the show notes, it was entitled. Looks like a table flipper. What does that look like to you guys? Looks like a guy flipping a table is what it looks like in Japanese.
Oh, the Japanese characters, you mean? Yeah, who knows what that means? But yeah, he is Pepsi Man.
Right. It's a very simple game. This was for the PlayStation 1. You basically jumped or ducked, and you ran on rails.
Whoops, sorry. Keep going.
Play the music.
All right, here's some.
Cue the music.
Oh, I remember this. Because this guy was in all their commercials and stuff.
He totally was. He was in a whole bunch of commercials here, just for a short period of time. It seemed like Pepsi Man came into prominence. He was, he kind of liked to use the same technology used for like the Terminator 2.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that one? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was kind of like that silverish kind of guy, but really buff. You run on rails. And you collect Pepsi cans, and you slide under Pepsi trucks, and you jump over cars, and you avoid running into people's houses and hitting people and knocking them over. It's a very silly,
I feel like we need Ibit to say Pepsi Man.
Yeah. I do too. Every time Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man.
I won't even guess what his powers are.
Power to quench your
decay
thirst.
Your tea.
Boy, they are giving a lot of crap to Coke in this commercial I'm seeing right here.
Yeah. Well, you can't complain too much because Coke took a jab at Pepsi years ago with a.
Did they have a Coke Man?
No, actually, yeah, Coke Man. That's not the same thing, Scott. They had a.
I don't like Pepsi's hole in his mouth. That's gross.
It is weird because he goes. Because he makes that like when you open a can, and he makes this weird O face, and he goes.
I don't like it.
It's creepy.
I don't like his O face.
It's crap. Anyway, back to Coke. Coke had thrown the first punch back when they gave away Space Invaders that had where you were destroying the word Pepsi as it came down on the screen.
They did. I don't remember that.
Yeah, they gave that away years ago, back when Space Invaders was still a thing.
Wow.
And so, yeah, Pepsi Man, get out there and play it.
There is some actual gameplay video in. Somebody made a San Andreas mod and put Pepsi Man in it. That's pretty awesome.
He's shown up in a couple of things since then. He's a little bit of a icon.
Wow. This is ridiculous. Okay. Well, there you go. Pepsi Man in stores now. Go check it out. There's video of Brian playing it poorly as well, which you can watch.
Super poorly.
We'll put that in the show notes. Big thanks to Paul Swickard for handling that for us. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a show. Yay. We're done. Let's get everybody off to their the rest of their Wednesday night. Before we do, real quick, Nicole Spag on Twitter, and Ladies of Leet, Nerd Parents. Anything else I'm forgetting?
Nope.
Let me see.
Plenty of things on.
There's a lot of Nicole going on, man. I think
the morning stream every Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's up today, but yeah, most Wednesdays, and that wasn't your fault. That was mine.
Recommendals.
Well, Brian's fault. We'll blame him. He was driving to Vegas.
Oh, I'm watching The Leftovers. Are you watching this yet?
No, that I want to.
Great show.
So good.
I hear it's good.
I'm still about one episode down. That's the HBO show if you're not watching it.
Yes.
It's Hobo.
It's our little show that we're going to watch while we wait for our new Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's what you should do. It's in fact, didn't it take its place while Game of Thrones is in off season or whatever?
Yeah, it does. It comes on Sunday nights, and also, let me see if I can get this up. My wonderful girlfriend bought me a Tyrion Lannister.
I saw you tweet that
action figure. Let me see if I can get that up on the screen here.
Put that on the video.
How cool is he, man?
Look at that.
He's life size.
Yeah, that's actual Dinklage size right there.
He's Dinklage size right there.
That's cool.
I'm gonna take him out of the box.
Yeah, the wizard came from the moon.
That's right. That's right. Excellent. Well, anyway, Nicole's Bag on Twitter is where I would go. That's where I'd spend my time. Brian Dunaway at the Brian Dunaway on Twitter, and of course, a lot of billion things going on over there with the Comics Coast to Coast and the whatnot. You got anything in particular you want to pimp?
We do have a new Comics Coast to Coast tomorrow night. We're going to be talking about Latchkey Kids and the afternoon cartoon shows between 3 and 5 we used to watch during the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yeah.
I don't remember doing that. Thundercats, Voltron. G.I. Joe, and all that good stuff right there. We're going to talk about that live on Comics Coast tomorrow night.
And we're going to talk about Birdman.
Birdman,
like the old one, not the funny one, the one that was like old 60s, late 60s, 70s. You got to talk about that thing.
Well, we're totally going to talk about that one.
Birdman, dude. Oh, they got a movie coming out with first Batman in it. What's his name? Shite.
Shite.
You know who I mean? Multiplicity.
Multiplicity.
You know who I mean?
I know what you're talking about.
Beetlejuice.
Jack Frost.
Beetlejuice.
I'm gonna keep. Yeah, Jack Frost.
Not Jack Frost. No, not Jack Frost.
Yeah, he was in Jack Frost. He was the character.
Oh, is he in Jack Frost?
Yeah, like he was the snowman and he died.
Oh.
And he come back to life for his son.
I don't remember that.
Don't remember that?
No. He was in that sober movie or whatever it was called where he was drunk and had to go through AA meetings or something. What's wrong with me?
Right.
Who can't? Why can no one say chat room should have it by now? Here, what do you guys? Michael Keaton.
It's
Holy
Michael
shite.
Keaton. I had fun with that. That was fun. Let's name every Michael Keaton movie it's ever been.
Ralph, Adam West. What are you talking about, buddy? All right. There you have it. And good. Follow Brian at the Brian Dunaway for all those showtimes and everything else. For me, I don't know. There's stuff going on. There's always something going on. I won't bore you with it, but you can check me out at the. Oh yeah, Boop's good. Boop will be on tomorrow, Mondays and Thursdays. Look at gaming news and commentary each of those days, half hour each. Tomorrow, brand new show, so watch for that. Kind of a nice compliment to what we do here. If you like the show, there's a very good chance you'll like that. You can find that at frogpants.com/boop. BOOP, not poop. Okay, not boob. Boop.
Boobies.
Yeah, it's on iTunes. We're currently #1, or we have been most of the week. So if you want to find it there, you can find it there as well. That's going to do it. Oh, TFS show is now on Stitcher. That finally happened. I don't know what the holdup was, but now it's there. So if you listen to Stitcher and you're trying to get that show there, this show can be found there along with everything else we got going on.
I just got Comics Coast to Coast updated on there too.
Oh, good. Took them long enough, those guys. I don't know what they're doing over there, but they take forever. Anyway, that's that. Thank you guys for being here. We'll be here next week with a whole new episode for me, for Brian, and for everybody else involved. Oh, follow us at Twitter, Nicole. At TFS Show. Nicole Spag, Brian Dunaway, Scott Johnson, and the show is at, finalscoreshow.com, and that's it. And thanks, Paul. That's it. We're done. We're out. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Pepsiman.
We did it.
Yay.
We did all we promised to do.
Only one code that I gave away was inactive.
Oh, really?
Good. That's good.
But I have a backup key for Borderlands. So
well, we never know when that's going to happen.
I know. That's why I always have backup keys that I've purchased that I know are good.
Yeah. It's definitely not. I mean, it's not. Is there precious little we can actually do about that?
Yeah.
But it is what it is, folks.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yes, Brian.
I got my new bandwidth, and that was working fine as far as I could tell. But then all of a sudden, my CPU started going nuts. It's been 100% for like the last hour.
Yeah, I have that problem with XSplit sometimes. I don't know. I think it's some combo Sky. Well, you're on a PC for that. I don't know what that is. That's annoying. All these things. We should have this 2014. This stuff should be figured out by now. You know.
I know it. I get one thing fixed now. I'm going to go upgrade to other crap.
Go fix the other one, Brian.
Dang it.
All right. You two have fun. Nicole, my best to the boy and the husband.
Bye.
Brian, my best to all the other equivalents on your side.
Thanks, man.
And to you at home, F off.